get started with this reading. So I just had this big message from Spirit come through today that was like the voice of New Earth wanting to be reborn. The world is going through major shifts. It's going through the shakeup. It is being remade. And I just kind of had this song. I put it in the video description. The lyrics for it were intense, somewhat in this angry way, but just like I was saying in another reading for another sign, it's like the labor pains. It's like the voice of labor. It's like the New Earth literally is like, you have to create the world for me so I can be born. Like, that's what it was saying. You have to create the world for me so I can be born. So that is what we are checking into today. So I've got these artist cards here. Artists, creators, creating New Earth. There's lots of spiritual activity coming through right now. I just did an eclipse reading too. Maybe go check that out. So I've got this yoga deck here to maybe help you focus on chakras or energy points that help ground in this energy. And then I've got the Starman David Bowie Tarot, and the artwork is all like this very new age, very new earth, psychedelic. So I felt like playing with this. That David Bowie deck is a newer deck for me, and it is a lot of fun. It has been rocking my socks all day. So let's start in with these artist cards. What are some messages to help you create your version of New Earth, right? Things are flipping all over the place. Okay. Remember that we are the creators of New Earth. Okay. Some of these came out for Scorpio. So if you're on the cusp of Scorpio, Sagittarius, then you might want to check out that Scorpio reading as well. Whew, yeah. All of these cards have come out for other readings. So Sagittarius, this doesn't surprise me either because you were the full moon lunar eclipse. So I feel like in a way it's like a lot of things are coming through you in general, but especially if you're on the cusp of Scorpio, these three cards just came out for Scorpio right here. So maybe go check that out. You got lots of spirit. So don't fear spirit. Spirit's talking to you right now. Let's dig in. Spirituality has often been misused as a route to an unloving solitude, a stance where we proclaim ourselves above our human nature. This spiritual superiority is really only one more form of denial. So possibly feeling above others, possibly feeling superior, and in that superiority complex, interesting word choices there. In that superiority complex, you have isolated yourself from people that love you, and it's like in that righteousness you have pushed a lot of things away, and that is really your spiritual path and calling. So there's something to consider there. It's not about the superiority thing. That's the part that needs to go. But it's recognizing what your true spiritual calling is, what you feel passionate about, what you feel called to, but finding a way so that it's not becoming this solitude and this superiority thing. It's not about being better than other people or holier than thou or whatever. It's like you have been put into a space of solitude, but you put yourself there. With this spirit card, as artists, we belong to an ancient and holy tribe. We are the carriers of truth, and that spirit moves through us all. And that's what I mean. Very much in the regard of what your spirit is speaking and saying to you in these times, especially in these times when the world is being flipped over, where you feel your soul calling you to, what you feel passionate about. That is part of your ancient holy tribe speaking through you. Those are your ancestors. Those are your past lives. Those are the things that you as a spirit are here for and passionate about. And that's where this no fear message comes in. Jealousy is always a mask for fear. Fear that we aren't able to get what we want. Frustration that somebody else seems to be getting what is rightfully ours, even if we are too frightened to reach for it. So that's the thing. I get this sense of a little bit of like frustration and anger from you spiritually, Sagittarius. And especially, like I said, that lunar eclipse just came through, so you might have a lot of things just totally shifting within yourself. Just like the world is shifting, you got a lot of things shifting within yourself, but you need to recognize where there is some jealousy or fear. And it seems to be more about the fact that you aren't making moves to achieve what you really want. And I think that honestly is because you are waking up to some spiritual messages that have previously isolated you, but are actually your calling. And you see other people doing this and achieving their success and doing the things that you want to do, but you can't figure out how to get there yet. And that's just simply, so that's where it just said New Earth. The voice of New Earth is saying to me, that's where you're blocked. Because instead of going after these things that you really want, you're instead standing by and watching everyone else do these things. And you feel so restless in your spirit that you're just dying to do something about this feeling inside of yourself. Your spirit is trying to do something with this, and it just doesn't know how to move forward. And that's where the spiritual practice comes in, because just like anything, practice makes perfect. Practice creates fruitfulness. Practicing is what creates things, right? Creativity is a spiritual practice. It is not something that can be perfected, finished, and set aside. So that's what I mean. It's like you are trying to create something, but you're not really making any moves. And it's like you're afraid of making any moves because you're afraid of failure. You're afraid that people are going to say something about you. You're afraid that's why you've isolated yourself. You're so unsure right now, but you need to be creating, because that is part of your spiritual practice. So whatever you're feeling drawn and sparked to do or say or create, especially if you've been feeling like you shouldn't do that, or you're blocked, or you can tell like you're jealous or something, like you need to start working on that. Slowly, steadily, make it a practice. You need to work on these things. That is part of birthing your new earth. What is some energy, what are some like chakra energies or yoga poses or mantras or exercises that can help you ground this energy in? Okay, we've got a leg stretch. Is there anything else? That's a lot. I'm gonna take this top card. I think that makes sense. So leg stretches. Allowing your spine to be fully grounded, but also stretching these legs. And that's where I feel like, it's like, that's what I mean, like pursuing stuff. This is your root chakra. These are your ancient holy tribe, your ancestors trying to talk to you, coming through your root chakra, and your feet and your legs, especially your knees. All of these things are symbolically, like at least when we do like Reiki healing and stuff like that is symbolically where you not only store past energy, and it was saying your thighs, specifically your thighs is where we store a lot of past life energy, a lot of anger, a lot of childhood pains and memories, and a lot of blockages in that sense. And stretching your legs, it's like getting ready for a marathon type deal, getting ready for a run or a vigorous exercise. Like you need to stretch out those legs, because you can't create and you're standing still in your fear and your jealousy. So stretching your legs is literally like that energy point of your root chakra that is allowing energy to flow from the earth to feed your new earth ideas. And then meditation of intent. So this is a meditation exercise here, a breathing exercise. It says, this meditation combines 3 intentions to develop a strong and supple body, a clear mind, and a spirit filled equally with power, love, and wisdom. Sit comfortably, close your eyes. Inhale and repeat silently. My body is strong and supple. Exhale and repeat silently. My mind is clear. Inhale and repeat silently. My spirit is filled with power, love, and wisdom. Exhale and repeat silently, all in equal measure. Breathe and feel the intention fill your entire being. This is not only asking you to slow down and count your breaths and really work on this mantra series right here, but this literally is telling you meditation of intent. You need to meditate on the intent that you are feeling here in these cards right here. What is the intention? What does this fear or jealousy or anger make you feel? What are you trying to go after that you felt blocked about? What is Spirit really, really, really saying to you inside? And what do you need to start doing to achieve that? Meditate on the intent first, because you can't take any steps until you've stretched your legs, grounded your energy, and really honed in on what exactly it is your spirit is trying to say to you. What does it want you to do? So let's dig into your tarot. What is this new earth energy wanting you to do? It just told me to take a break after this. So possibly taking a break. That's a lot of cards, Spirit, but I guess we'll do it. That's how I want some. Okay. It's like a 2-step guide in 3 different steps, like 6 steps total. Love it. Okay. First and foremost, we've got this 7 of Pentacles and this Lover's card. Let me just lay the Lover's card down for a second. So with the 7 of Pentacles, there is this like hole in the ground where like some damage has been done. But there's a beautiful rose growing out of it as well. And then at the same time, there's like a little tiny storm cloud over it. So it's like understanding the lesson that just said, when you ask God to grow, don't be surprised if it starts raining type deal. The 7 of Pentacles, like he is kneeling down, kind of guarding this little rose and protecting it, but also having to pause and reflect on that little storm. And notice how tiny that storm is, okay? First of all, notice how tiny that storm is. That's little bitty. There's also like honeybees flying around in here. And there's so much of that kind of golden yellow hive energy. So it's like there's a lot of work that's already been done. There's a lot of things of this that have already been built. There's just a little storm right now. And you're pausing to reflect on that and protect this and kind of heal this. And this is something very real. This could be about money. This could be about anything that really has to do with like home and finances and security in that regard. There's been a little bit of a storm, but we still got some of these honeybees around. So that's kind of there to show you like there's still honey to be had. There's still honey to be made. You're just in this period of reflection. There's also this still kind of grand idea of this cityscape up here in the sky. So it's like you still have this dream. Sorry, I had a phone call there in the middle of that. So anyway, as I was saying, when it comes to this 7 of Pentacles, it's like, so then there's the beanstalk in the background, and we've got the shining city here on top. So it's like there's still a really beautiful idea, and that's what the 7 of Pentacles is. You've been working on building up to this shining idea. But it's a little heavy. We've also got the Saturn over here, that Saturn energy. We are in Saturn retrograde, so this could be some of that heavier karma energy that you're having to work on, and maybe that's why the storm is here. But again, there was some damage. There is some beauty growing from it. The little storm here, it's got to rain to water these plants. Like that's what happens with that. And that's how you eventually get this giant beanstalk, right? Like you can only get this giant beanstalk, sorry, in the background from the rain pouring onto this. And that's how that happens. And so it's like you're having to care and nurture something that's very little right now that you are hoping grows into this big shining idea. And that, I would say, has very much to do with this Lover's energy. Very much. Now, this card is very psychedelic and very androgynous. This very much has to do with the fact that this energy is within yourself. This is very much can be that relationship energy, but this, because all the faces are literally like the same, it's like recognizing that the blessing of unity and that Lover's energy is fully within yourself. There are even more honeybees in this card, and that's what I mean. It's like the honey is still here in this card, but it is overflowing in this card. So right now it's like you've been kind of going through this, and that's that new earth energy being grown, going through the storm, being shifted so it can grow into this. Up in that city, we get this beautiful Lover's energy. There is also like some psychedelic mushrooms over here, and we got the spiders. It's all about like the webs you weave, getting naturally high on life, recognizing that you are the blessing of love, you are the spirit of love, you are unified within your mind and your heart, the masculine and feminine energies. There's also, it's very graphic, there's like a lot of honey. It's literally like honey dripping from all the orifices of these bodies. It's like just oozing amazingness, oozing love and unity. There's also like some bullet holes over here. So recognizing that sometimes, again, kind of with like the card that was over here, it's just like pain comes from, or beauty comes from a little bit of pain. Sometimes you've got to accept some of that. And then complementary to these bullet holes is this pattern that's very much like the Kabbalah chakra points and everything. So that's what I mean. It's like recognizing everything's connected, recognizing that everything is in unity within yourself, and just becoming that honeypot, becoming that hive, becoming that Lover's energy, becoming unified within yourself. That is what really needs to be born for this new earth energy. And like I was saying, it's like you've been very spiritually frustrated back here, and you can feel some kind of calling. You're still kind of working on it and nurturing it, but it is bringing you to this Lover's energy. What else? Ooh, look at that. So now we got a 7 of Cups on the other side, 7 of Pentacles and a 7 of Cups. This card has also come up today. This is like the great mystery. This is like spirit stepping in and saying like, look at all these cool cups I've got for you. Yes. Ooh, Sagittarius. Look at that King of Wands coming out too. That's your power card. So that's where, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so what's happening too for this new earth energy is you're being built up into this. Spirit is inviting you to look into the mysteries of your core center. It's scary and it's unknown, but it is cosmic and universal. There's literally new earth coming down the chute to be born. Look at all these cups. There's aliens, dragons, faces, mushrooms, coins, lightning bolts, sacred geometry. These are like the secrets of the universe and spirit being offered to you. All kinds of new paths and emotionally fulfilling cups being offered to you. And you've got to meet this this kind of initiator, this shadow character, to bring you into that energy. And you see how very much the shadow characters kind of reflect each other in these cards. That's what I mean. So you're in this shadow energy too. There's something here for your shadow work. I would say, especially since the lunar eclipse was just in your sign, you are working through this shadow work. And in between the shadows, there are some great cards. There's this Lover's energy. You're coming to unity within yourself. And what does that lead to? but this really awesome King of Wands. Look at this. He's not only got new earth, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 different little embryos, babies right here. So this is like some full-on, yeah, like just adventures, new spiritual paths, new prospects, new worlds literally being born. Just from you coming into your centered power. There's also very much like some tree energy coming out of him. That's what I mean. It's like being rooted in that fire. This is like the molten core of the earth almost. And then this is the other type of Wands energy, which is kind of that lightning. It's like mastering fire completely, both in that spiritual fire and in like an earth fire way. You see all these angels and spirits kind of coming out of here, like this cosmic knowledge. He's got a crown of thorns, this very Christ-like energy too. Literally being a king of your spirit, king of your passionate pursuits. And this is fire sign. This is Sagittarius, being the king of yourself, just rocking your world. Standing in your divine Sagittarius power, being wild and free as a King of Wands, as that centaur, as that Sagittarius power. Yes. And the Empress. Yes. And the Emperor. What? Sagittarius. Dang, man. You're look at this. Look at this. That's what I mean. It's like you are not an... That's the other thing. Spirit, you're like, I'm going to become this king. And Spirit's like, yeah, but you totally overlooked these other cups because we're trying to make you an empress and an emperor. Just look at it. Look, she's got, and she is the source of those new worlds. There's 2 more little embryos being here, being born here too. She is that cosmic internal force. And this is that beautiful feminine energy within you, Sagittarius, that beautiful force being born. Look, sorry, people keep calling me during your reading, Sagittarius. That's a message for me, I guess. There's a lot of sexual energy in this deck. She's got kind of like this milk flow here in her hands, and that can be very suggestive of course, other bodily fluids that would then be needed to grow these babies. And that's what you have an emperor for, right? And look at him. He's even got that like cosmic star center right there on his belt, right there where that would be coming from. It's like you've got to have both of these energies to birth all the new earth energy that you're trying to birth. But he, the emperor, that physical, earthly, solid blessings, money, home, family, finances, just ruling the damn world, that kind of manpower energy, it's got to give the life force seed to the Empress. But she's the one in her beautiful garden, just really super psychedelic, that is actually growing and birthing these things. You cannot have a baby without both energies, right? In the respect of, you've got to have the seed of a sperm and you've got to have the seed of an egg. You've got to have both energies there to fertilize. No matter how you go about that final end product or achieving that, that's the type of energy you have to have. So that being said, it's like, make sure that your inner feminine energy that is growing these ideas is getting the life force energy it needs. And that's where your masculine energy comes in and gives you, I had that message today. It's like paying yourself, giving yourself what you need. And not only that, I would say, especially with this lover's energy, this could very well be, this is unity within yourself, but this is also possibly a very solid relationship coming into new earth for you. Spirit's trying to offer you perhaps this, and before you get to this, you've got to stand in your own power, Sagittarius. Man, these are beautiful cards though. Also, I like this idea too of laying them out like this. because I like this too, because that's what I mean. It's like that Seven of Pentacles. What are you working on? You're working on yourself. Your King of Wands energy. You're growing it. You're working on it. It's taking time. It's a little slow moving energy up here, but that's because becoming a king, your several versions of you are being born and remade and moved through. And I think part of the key to achieving this Lover's energy is really tapping into your feminine energy, that Empress energy, and learning how to accept the gifts of life so that you can use that energy to grow and manifest all the other blessings and everything. And that's where this Seven of Cups energy, Spirit is handing you that Emperor energy. Spirit is handing you the life force energy for you to give to yourself. This is all about giving to yourself, Sagittarius. This is about stop looking at what everybody else has and being jealous and fearful, and start looking at what you do have and what is Spirit giving you. Because you have everything literally here in the core for you to birth this new earth for yourself, for you to be unified and in love within yourself. This is beautiful energy in the core. But you kind of have these two shadow gateways here with these Sevens of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and you got an Emperor and a King here. And that's what I mean. It's like very much, do you see how the masculine energy is like this outer shell, and then the more feminine, or at least united with feminine energies, are here in the center? That's what I mean. You have this kind of shell up, this very defensive shell. It's been hurt. It's been working on things. It's in the shadows. It's unsure. But beneath it, it knows you are strong. You are this King of Wands. That is your power card. You are this Emperor. You know that the universe is going to make you this Emperor and will provide everything for you. And within, you are this. Tap into your inner core, Sagittarius. Tap into your inner feminine and bring all of this together. I love how these four cards together kind of make this beautiful pyramid, which literally leads like right up to, there's nothing else to say, where this honeypot is. And that's what I mean. It's like unity at its finest is on its way. But you've got to recognize that these little shadow energies you're working through are helping you to build up to this. So instead of being fearful of this energy, being jealous or enraged or whatever emotions you're feeling through this shadow energy, you've got to realize what all this other stuff means. Because there's the other seven. There's a Seven of Wands on the bottom of the deck, because you are fighting for what you believe in. And it is right, and it is good. And you're feeling a little attacked, or like the whole world's against you, but you're first of all, it's not, but second of all, Spirit's got you. You're in a 777 phase. You've got a lot of just and that's what I mean, like this Empress and the Emperor together equals 7 too. That's what I mean. You're in a phase right now where you're learning what to fight for, which is yourself, who not to fight against, which is everybody else, because that's a waste of your energy. What do you truly fight for? What Spirit is handing to you, which is you in this unity and this love and this new earth. Woo! All right, Sagittarius, that's what I got for you. Let me know how that resonates for you, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you so much.